Alright, let's see if I can finally get back to making videos. I now have new software for editing videos, so we're going to try Adobe Premiere. And anyway, got the bucket dirty on the 4066. Played with it a little bit, just went back and played with the dirt pile. Really like the performance of the machine. However, this is kind of just, these will be just my general comments. Next couple videos will probably be like this as I use it. Kind of help people make a decision. One of the things that I noticed, and this has been pointed out in I think 2 other videos on YouTube, when you go with mechanical self-leveling loader like I have, so it would be this attachment right here with this bar going up here, and then it's hooked in to the main frame right here, and then you have the choice on the loader itself of non-self-leveling versus self-leveling or mechanical self-leveling. So it really depends on what the lift cylinder needs to be hooked to. But one thing that really kind of, I wouldn't even say is bad, but one trade-off that you have with the mechanical self-leveling is you don't necessarily get the curl on the bucket that you would normally get. So if you're used to driving into a pile of dirt like I am with the 45 loader on the X748, which I know it's hard to compare the two because just the sheer size. But if you're driving into a pile with the X748 or a common loader, that's not self-leveling, you drive in and you curl the bucket up, and as you're curling the bucket up, basically you're able to kind of use the force of the tractor and the bucket to fill the bucket up. If you haven't done it, that's kind of hard to explain. Well, with mechanical self-leveling, you actually run out of curl a little bit before you run out of power and or lift capacity. So, it's kind of a delicate balance in there, or at least that's my initial impressions. So, I mean, it's certainly something to consider. By no means am I complaining about this. I knew it going in that you wouldn't necessarily have some of the curl. I'll have to look on the brochures. I think it lists the curl on the bucket, but overall I'm actually very happy with the performance of the loader. Certainly nothing there, very quick, doesn't lack power. I've got to work a little bit on the power selection, and where I like it. I'm still working with the e-throttle and working with the load match and stuff like that. Just a matter of getting it set up the way I want it and learn how to operate it. That's probably one of the hardest things. But yeah, that's kind of one of my comments on it, and I'll try to stick in maybe a chart or something showing the curl and everything. And plus, I mean, it doesn't help that skid steer carrier, I'm not sure how much that impacts it, but you can actually see on the carrier right here where it comes back, and I guess it hits right here. I'm not really sure. I have to keep a watch on that. One thing I am kind of disappointed about is if you look in there, this is actually rubbing. Let me see if I can go over on the other side. Not really all that big a deal, but it is kind of sad that that's rubbing right there. Tolerances probably weren't the best, so we'll definitely have to pay attention to that. Now, the mechanical self-leveling is an option that you can get, and I mostly did mechanical self-leveling for both snow work and then to put everything up on those pallet racks right there, which is great. Clearly, the X748 could not lift that high. So that's one of the reasons I did it. I will do quite a bit of pallet work, and I will for snow removal, pushing up piles and everything there. I've already talked about the kind of the confusion in this area, and I forgot to mention also the oil dipsticks back there, which this is the problem you run into when you want to actually figure out what the oil is. You can kind of see it back in there, but it's kind of hard. I'll show disconnecting the loader. Disconnecting the loader is actually super easy. I probably edit that into this video if I can. If I have some time today, certainly not a problem at all to do. In fact, I really like it. Basically, you just lift up on these arms and you're good to go. Now I have, because I haven't had a bucket, it's been a little difficult to take it on and off, but now that I have a bucket, it should be much easier. And then back here, one thing that I'm working on fixing this. So looking at the back of the cab, and I think I've mentioned it in one of my first videos, the windshield washer is on the left-hand side. I have no earthly idea why the windshield washer is on the left-hand side. Now, if you were left-handed, it would be, you know, if you were dominant on your left side, then it might be a different deal. But I'm wondering if I can order the right-hand side windshield wiper and actually use both, because if you look in videos, I think the lighting is terrible for that shot. There you go. So if you look in other videos and online, a lot of times the windshield washer is on the right side. So I'm not really sure what's going on there, but I'm going to see if I can't order the right side windshield wiper. Now the rear windshield wiper and washer is standard on the 4066, I believe. One thing it does not say in the manuals is the washer is standard. So that's something to be aware of that we found out. So yeah, I'll have to see. The washer kit's like $300, which nobody wants to pay anymore for. But hey, if I can have both washers on the, or both wipers on the tractor, then why not, right? You know, that's even a cleaner windshield than I started with. But I'll have to talk and see what all I need to do with that and go from there. So yeah. Anyway, this is a relatively short video. I'll try to see if I can't plug either doing the eye match, which you've seen the eye match before. So speaking of, that's one thing I have not talked about is kind of disappointing, but with the rippers, you can't leave them in the up position because there's too much pressure on the hydraulic lines to actually get it hooked up to the machine, and I don't have a manual for this yet, so we're still working on that. I thought it came with one, but there is not one. But anyway, that's probably for a different video, and I'll do a video on the downforce and the box blade and everything. So anyway, decently short video, just a couple things that I've identified. Like I said, nothing bad, still love the machine, but just if you're buying one, things to look out for. Alright, so I'm actually going to use the auto hitch. Now, I'm doing this mostly from the ground just to kind of show you the auto hitch. You can do this from the cab without any problem whatsoever. But what I'm going to do is, so you got an auto hitch, you got your draft control back here, and then you have your auto hitch, so forward, backwards. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and lift my hitch up a little bit. Now, let's go ahead and look and see. Alright, so I can just lift it all the way up. Actually, I'll just go ahead and demonstrate the auto hitch. So, control here, we're going to move the tractor forward. Tractor forward, and then we're going to move the tractor back. And now we're close enough. Now we can pick up on our hitch. And it should go right in there. Actually, it's not going to this time. I think I need to, I've been playing with the top link a little bit. So that's my fault. The way I have it sitting in here. So there we go. We got it picked up, and then we can lock them in. Now, Deere and all their promotional videos actually, they show you locking them in. If you want to, you can actually just pick it up and it'll just slide right in there. So if you're attaching the implement, all you have to do is leave them in this position, and as this goes in there, the implement will actually slide in there. So that's the auto hitch. You kind of see how it could be handy. Not that handy with the eye match, but if it was something different than the eye match, then it would certainly benefit everything. Now, this box blade has some idiosyncrasies in terms of its size for the hitch and the rippers and everything. So anyway, next I'll go ahead and do the front end loader on and off. I'm not disconnecting any of the hydraulic fittings in this video simply because it's a little bit of a pain and messy. So I'm going to set the camera up and we'll disconnect the front end loader.